David here. I hope everybody is having a great Friday. Due to extremely popular demand right now, we are going to do a update video on this car. Believe it or not, the last time I did an update on this car was October of last year. October of last year, I reached 10,000 miles in this car. Well, it is now at 35,637 miles, .1. Nice. So let's talk about how things have changed. A lot of things have changed in this car. The last time we saw it, all it had was a cold air intake and a tune from Bama, from American Muscle, those guys in Pennsylvania. And since then, stuff's been added to the car. People ask me all the time what my quote-unquote build list is, even though it's, it's not that much, but it's a build list, and they ask me what's done to the car. And I think this is usually because of my newer subscribers who have just joined me, because I did video reviews for every part that I have ever put on the car. So naturally, I understand if you missed them, no problem. The car, the day I got it, had Roush Axleback exhaust. I pulled it in the driveway, put it up on ramps, and swapped the mufflers. I had the mufflers sitting in my garage because I was so excited for this car to come. We had the cold air intake and the Bama Performance tune. Then the next thing I did after that was a Boss 302 intake manifold. I did a review on the Boss 302 manifold. As many people know, you can take the intake manifold from the Boss 302 Mustang and apply it to the Coyote 5.0 motor that is in this car. It lets you rev a little bit higher, and it definitely changes the character of the car. The car, when you first get it from the factory, it's extremely torquey, but that torque very much peaks, like it stops. Like you feel the power, but you can tell it doesn't build anymore. With the Boss, it's very much like I said in the video, it's poor man's boost essentially. You feel the torque curve and the power gaining all the way through the power band. I also got an 85mm throttle body by BBK, but honestly, I didn't detect any power gains. I didn't feel any in my butt dyno, if that makes sense. It might have been in the crank horsepower numbers, but I didn't feel that much of a difference. Then around the same time period, I might have gotten these two parts switched with the Boss, but we did a Eibach lowering kit with the Eibach Pro Kit springs. They really transformed the look of the car. I think it looked 10 times better with the 1.5-inch drop in the back and the inch and just like an inch in the front. Then after that, things didn't really change. It stayed the same for a while until I'd say around April. April is when I was like, well, I've done some stuff to the car. I like the way it's pretty balanced now, but we could always get some lower control arms. It's not a big purchase, and if, they're not that big of a deal. When you launch the car, it definitely launches harder, and it definitely makes the chassis feel more reinforced, if that makes sense. Then after that, we did the off-road X-Pipe, which was awesome. I love this thing. There is pretty much no drone. It's really good on the highway. Like right now, think about it. It's nice and quiet for the most part for being in this kind of car. Then from there, it was mostly cosmetics. I got rid of the silver wheels. I got SVE drift wheels from Late Model Restoration. I love these wheels. So many people are saying I should get rid of them. I love them. I'm sorry. It really makes the grabber blue pop, and as you guys can already tell, I like blue, so it helps. Then after that, my friends and I did a California Special spoiler install. We got rid of the little ducktail that comes from the factory. It was one of the most terrifying installs I've ever done. And just because of, I hate drilling. I hate drilling in cars. I just, Then an even more terrifying thing happened after that. We did the Boss 302 diffuser that comes OEM on the Boss 302 on the back. And since then, the car's been the same. And people are always sending me messages every single day. What's next? What's next? What's next? And I'm like, right now, I'm pretty happy of where the car sits. There's really nothing that justifies the money for the price other than boost application, like supercharging or turbocharging. It's so hard because once you do all these bang for your buck things like cold air intake, tune, manifold, all that, you're like, well, yeah, there's nowhere really to go that's big and bad instantly for not bad of a price. And before anybody asked me, the last time I dynoed it, it made around 418 horsepower to the wheels consistently. Got 420 one time, but you know, that was like with ice on it and everything, you know, just to see what would happen. So now let's talk about the little things. You know, the car's racking up miles on it, and naturally things age. And here's the thing, as many of you guys know, I don't go easy on this car. It's a V8, it's a 5.0, it's newish. It has no excuse for braking, in my opinion. It's naturally aspirated. It should not have any issues. I have traveled all over the East Coast this year, and not a single thing has happened. You know, I went to Pittsburgh, Detroit, Myrtle Beach, what have you, everywhere. And it is just awesome to cruise on the highway with this, because, you know, at any point you have a decent amount of power just to, you know, like, la la la, let's just go. However, there is one downside to having an exhaust system like this, is it can kind of create rattles from the vibrations it causes. I have ridden in a 2013 GT just like this that had basically stock exhaust, and, you know, it had 0 rattles. But I have a few factors. One, I lived in Virginia Beach. 264 is like one long thing of Detroit highway. It is bump, 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 bump. So naturally plastics that are in the car, not too many plastics left in this car, but naturally they're like, how about no? And obviously the off-road X-Pipe makes a lot of noise, which makes a lot of vibration, which causes some more rattles in the car. Now, are they bad? Absolutely not. Like, I'm talking like, see, you can barely hear that. Like, not really. It's not bad at all. I will tell you that my 2006 Mustang GT, I got that car when it had 28,000 miles on it, and by the time it reached this, if I hit a bump, I was scared. Like, it was like, you heard like all this noise inside. You're like, oh, come on, Ford, get your crap together. I'm proud to say that, yes, it has some plastics on it, but it's miles ahead of the last generation, and it does not feel like it's ever gonna fall apart. The longevity of it, I can tell it's gonna hold up for a very long time. As for other future plans for it, right now, I'm very comfortable where it sits because of how much I travel for you guys to get footage everywhere. So, you know, being naturally aspirated, I gotta have that reliability, plus boost is expensive. A lot of people have also asked me, am I gonna trade this in for the 2015? And no, I'm not. Which, not because I don't like the 2015, I like the 2015. As you saw in this video here, I made an entire video on why it's good and bad, but not enough to really chase after it, if that makes sense. I'm very, very happy with this car. A lot of people, when they found out how much I've driven this car since I've gotten it, I got this June of 2012, they go, why do you put so many miles on it? Sorry, man, cars are meant to be driven. That's what they're designed for, and I enjoy mine to the fullest. So, question of the day, what is the longest time in mileage have you kept a single car? Can't wait to read these. I love reading about people's stories on how they've kept cars going for so long due to sentimental value or just because they had to. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you guys take it easy. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next time.